Welcome back, guys, and welcome to another episode of a really important topic. And over the years, what we're going to discuss today, I feel like this word has been created over the last couple of years. It's just another word that we've possibly added to the dictionary, and we've labeled ourselves as this thing. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's a load of rubbish. It is a load of rubbish. It's a word that's been created just to make you feel a certain way and label yourself this word. And the word I'm going to talk about is imposter syndrome. Now, this can come in many forms. This could be something like right now you are in a new role. You've started a new career or you've started a new job and you feel like you shouldn't be there. You feel like you are out of your depth. And this thing has been at you for such a long time that it's making you feel inadequate. It's making you feel stressed out. You come home worried. You maybe feel like you're never doing enough. And the way you are dealing with this right now is ignoring your own general health. So maybe that's, stopping exercise or going for nice walks or eating clean, but actually stressing out so much that the bottle is opening up again. The wine bottle is happening, or the beers are getting involved, or, we're trying to take the edge off a stressful day. And that is over time, as it's just not just, as it's happened not just over the weekend, it's actually now starting to happen in the week. Maybe a Wednesday night has now become a Thursday and a Friday, and it's just a glass, whoopie-doo. But we always are doing it, and it's becoming a pattern to deal with the stresses of life. Now, if you are letting the fear of imposter syndrome overcome you, then the real reality of it is, it's the word is called fear. And in today's episode, we're going to talk a lot about imposter syndrome, how you can overcome it, and where it all stems from. But before we start, I'm gonna share a little bit of a story with you of stages of my life where I've had the word fear hit the shit out of me and make me feel like I shouldn't be here. I don't belong in this situation. Now, there was many stages. When I moved up from a young age up to Leeds Rhinos, from Wales, of a boy who's, an area of Wales where rugby league is not a big thing, but going out to Leeds Rhinos as a youngster, the team at the time were stacked with players. You had Kevin Sinfields, you had the Rob Burrows, you had Danny Maguires, Jamie Peacocks, just to name a few. And this team at that stage were back-to-back champs. They were winning every competition. And there I was going up there to play in the academy team. And that voice in my head at that young age was telling me I wasn't good enough to be there. But this is normal. Imagine you, if you're a guy right now and Man City asked you to join their team and you were just playing before that, a decent level, but nowhere near Man City's level, and you got asked to step up to that level. I bet you there's a part of you going, shit, do I belong here? And that is fear. It's not imposter syndrome. But over time, we let this word get the worst of us. But fear, when you are doing things and you have fear, it's actually a direct reflection of an answer that you are in the right position. You are in a place which is getting you out of your comfort zone, and you are in a position where you are growing as a person. And then over time, with repetition, you are going to feel more confident. You are going to feel more belonging there. You are going to start to feel like you have a voice in this area. And these are all things that you are going to experience. But this in particular time, I remember when I went to Australia and we were playing for a team called East Tigers. And at that stage, I just come off my second ACL, my second knee reconstruction, signed for this team. And at that stage, we had some really good players in the team. Players now who are currently in NRL teams playing for Brisbane Broncos, Melbourne Storm, and some over in the Super League. And some have won the Man of Steel. Brodie Croft was one of them. He was Man of Steel at one stage in the Super League. And here I am. These guys are getting dropped back from Melbourne Storm back to East Tigers. And I'm in the East Tigers team at the time. And I thought to myself, I shouldn't be here. I'm way out of my depth. You go into the changing room. You see these players there are so naturally gifted, and you have Origin players coming back. You had Brandon Smith, who was playing for the Sydney Roosters, played for the Kiwis. You had Christian Welsh, he's played for the Melbourne Storm, captained them, and he's played in Origins, played for Australia. And there I am, this Welsh guy over in Australia, just trying to have a crack and trying to play the best that I can, but feeling a bit out of my depth. So there was an internal dialogue in my head telling me I shouldn't be here. I'm not good enough. These guys are way more experienced than me. But that's extremely normal. But instead of letting that get the worst of me, all that you decide to do every day is just go in there, bring energy, do as much as you can, pass, be very clinical of the things you know you can do, and then be a student of life when it comes to the other aspects. Now, you do this over time, you start to callous the mind. Once you start to callous the mind, you start to build resilience. And now when you start to build resilience, you start to become the man or the woman that you desire to be, because that version of yourself needs to go through this part of your life to grow as a person, to grow and become the person you need to be in form to do the things that you want to do. But if you let this fear or imposter syndrome, how people like to call it, overcome you all the time, then how do you expect to grow? You are always going to be in this safe box. Now, I'm going to share a really good analogy on this. And I believe this is the key one on how I visualize my life and how stages of my life, things, emotions have got the worst of me. So let's just picture yourself on a table, a long table, and there's emotions all over this table. There's confidence, there's fear, there's self-belief, there's stress, anger. They're all on this table. And you essentially are the head of your table. You've been sitting on this table and you should be the head. You're either the king of the table or the queen of the table, whatever you are. And over time, when you do something well, confidence steps to the head of the table and he takes control and he goes, yep, I'm confident. And he goes back to his side of the table. But you always stay at the head. And then over time, hardship happens and maybe fear jumps into the head of the table. And then they go back to that position. But what tends to happen over time, once you go into these stages of hurt, anger, resentment, and fear, once it happens over and over again, fear starts to take the head of the table. And you start to lose control of your life. But you actually step to the side of the table and become a passenger of your life instead of being the leader of your life. And fear starts to take over your life. And what it tends to do, it puts you in a safe box. And once it puts you in a safe box, you never get out of your comfort zone, because we all know when you're out of your comfort zone, fear likes to make you safe and brings you back into that box. But that forever life, what we've created because of fear, is not a fulfilled life. It's not a growth life. It's a life where you've played it safe. And I don't know about you, but I would hate to think when I'm 60, 70 years old, reflecting on my life and going, did I really do the things I should have done? Did I really take those opportunities? Did I really take the plunge? Did I really find out who I was? Did I really fall in love and fall out of love? Did I ever get hurt? Did I take that job opportunity? Did I get that promotion? Did I introduce myself to that guy who could have opened doors for me? Did I reach out to that girl or that guy who, could have sparked that coffee date or that date with this person? Did I reach out and make these opportunities happen? Or did I let fear hold me back? Now, for you to become the head of your life again, you have to become into self-acceptance, acceptance of yourself. Accept all of these emotions. Accept them and experience that your mind wants to make you safe all the time, and the mind will always take the safest option, and that is comfort. But when you get into these stages, whether it's in work, whether it's in social events, whether it's in any other areas of your life of trying to become better or trying to get out of your comfort zone, that internal dialogue of fear is always going to step in. Now, how you can counteract that? You can counteract that by reflecting and journaling, like we have right here, right now, is our 90-day mindset journals, where you reflect on the positives and create mental resilience. In these journals, you can sit down and reflect and identify to yourself, what are the things that you've done in the past which have grown you, which you are proud about, which have made you excited. Now, when you reflect on all of the good that you've done on a daily basis or over your lifetime, that voice of self-doubt or self-belief or fear starts to decrease. But we can see from proof right now, from proof experiences, what you've achieved, what you've done to make you a better person. They are the key reflections on you doing the things you should be doing. Now, how you can do this right now and how you can get out of your comfort zone is getting around like-minded people. That's A. Or sometimes you might not have those people around you, but you can get involved with mentors. For instance, but there's a buy-in usually. To get around people that are doing the things you want to do, you've got to be willing to invest in yourself. Now, there's many people out there that do this. There's some great mentors out there. You've got the Tony Robbins of the world. You've got people around the UK and Australia, America, everywhere. Even myself, I have my own mentoring group. If someone wants to work with me, yeah, there's a buy-in to working and being part of the inner circle. But I guarantee you get results because you get yourself out of your comfort zone. And there's 3 things I always ask people before they start to work with me. I ask them, A, are you willing to get out your comfort zone? Are you coachable? And are you willing to take action? They're the 3 things I always ask for with someone. And if you are in that place right now that you want to get out your comfort zone, you are willing to be coachable, and you are willing to take action, then you come on in. But there's always a buy-in into that. And if you are ready to take that chance, definitely jump on board. And then the final thing from that then is, where do you want to go? How do you want to achieve these things? But when you're around like-minded people, the fear, the anxiety starts to decrease. Because you're around like-minded people and normalize getting out of your comfort zone. So there's many things that you can do to achieve these things and get out your comfort zone and drop that word imposter syndrome, because all you're doing is building that muscle to make it stronger and stronger and become normalizing the fact that that's just fear. So you can journal. You can reflect on the things you've done in the past. You can join mentors, groups. You can get around like-minded people by buying into these things. Yes, they are going to cost you a little bit of money, but if you are going to get something in the long run, sustainability of a stronger mindset, potential more opportunities, if it's growth in business, you're going to make more financial returns by doing that because you've grown yourself as a person, or you always stay the same. As that great saying says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So there's many things that you can do. Gratitude, you can meditate, you can journal, like I've said. But the key component of this right now is understanding when that internal dialogue comes into those moments of not good enough. You've got to reflect and see that you are good enough and normalize it. Give yourself 2 or 3 goals every day that you can get done in that area which is causing this fear, and just tick them off. Reflect at the end of the day, did I get those done? Yes, I did. If I didn't, why didn't I? And what can I learn from that situation? Always put a positive spin on things. If you leave your mind on a negative note, it sits with that negative note. So you've got to find the good in every aspect, learning curves. If that was a bad, what did I learn from that situation? Like you might have had a bad relationship in the past. It might have hurt you. Well, instead of holding that past pain and taking it everywhere you go, how about you ask yourself, okay, what went wrong in that breakdown? What accountability can I take in that breakdown that didn't work out in that relationship? And what can I learn from that moving forward so I don't take that into my future? That's how we start to let go of our past, and that's how we start to bring our energy back into the situation we are right now. But the word imposter syndrome, I'm going to be clear with you right now. You can't get a tablet for it. You can't get diagnosed by a doctor. It is a word that has been created over time. But we all know that. It's just fear. Now, if you are someone and you are in the South Wales area and you want to start your journey of growth, now there's a couple of options that you can do. On Thursdays, we have a run club in Bridgend in the rec area, and we meet at the underground car park at 6:15 a.m. On Fridays, we do sea dips down Puthcall near the high tide. Now, you are more than welcome to join the open community stuff. And this is just a little touch for you on what is possible for you. When you get around like-minded people who are wanting more out of life, you start to better your life. You start to make better decisions and better chances for yourself because you're putting yourself in the best version. I want you to ask yourself now, when you reflect on the 5 people in your life who you spend your most time with, what are the common denominators through that connection? What is it that you usually do? And ask yourself, when you leave those situations, are you feeling better? Are you feeling drained? Now, that's another area that we can tap into and ask. But the real thing about this right now is your environment plays a massive part in where you're going and what you're doing. Massive. Now, guys, I know this is short and sharp, but we wanted to clear up the word imposter syndrome. Have a great day.